I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. I hunt all night and I chop all day. Doom, 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 doom. Amen, 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 amen. This is Jason Reed Pratt, author of Cry of Justice. Wait, am I really at over rank 7 million? Have you ever wanted to show your groggy strategic and tactical buddies a game where you strategically and tactically plan how to chop werewolves in the face for Halloween, or for Christmas rather, but it works just as well for Halloween, but your nieces like to watch your channel, so you eventually decide you just needed to include a warning at the start of the video that you will be chopping at least one werewolf in the face, and so they should go watch something else instead? Me too! Welcome to Song of Froid, Tales of Werewolves, Tome 1, which apparently will not be anything else, but that's okay, the game ends on a nice solid note. You don't really have to have a sequel. But some places still call it Tome 1, like here for example. As you can tell, I'm already in the unscripted part of the experience here. And the Sabrenices should be long gone because there are scary things in this game, and also some adult themes. Like, for example, the floating sister there, for example. So I'm going to skip the plot for the game, mostly, so that anybody who wants to play the game will have something to see and hear that won't be what's in this video. Let's boogie along to a new game here. You get to choose to play either Jack or Joss. I'm not going to play as Joss. The game is really designed to be played with Jack. You're outside at night. He's the character who'd be more likely to be outside at night. He shoots better, relatively. This is the middle of the 1800s in Lower Canada. He's not as good at axe fighting as Joss, but that means Joss, with his axe, should be inside the house at night, guarding the sister. And meanwhile, Joss during the day, while Jack is asleep, he can go to town, get stuff done. He can help build things out in the area. He can chop trees for some cash if he needs to. It makes more sense from a player's perspective. So we'll be doing Jack. As you can see, by the way, this game takes place in December 1858. Throughout most of December, ending on Christmas Eve. There is a plot reason for this. We won't go into that. It says it's a new moon here. You're going to discover when you step outside it is definitely not a new moon. Here we go, starting the mission. There is a very good tutorial system here. So here we are. I can move left and right. Rotate the camera. You can tell where our horses used to be. Moon is rising over there. As you can see, it is not a new moon. I guess that's supposed to be... like, wait, that's not a new moon. That's problematic. Alright, you will see here we have a nice torch. Over here, we have another nice torch. Can't see it, but way down at the end of the field over there, there's another torch. Oh, there it is. It's way down there at the end of that field. See it? Map on the left is rather large and comforting for what amounts to a survival horror tower defense game. Let's go over here to this other torch. Oh, oops.
Bloody hell! Horses are dead. And it's gotta be a wolf, not a wolverine. The pack must not be far.
Well, it's not just a guess about it being a wolf because you can see the thing. Those torches are not just there for ambience, by the way. We'll get to that soon. It's time to get some light. There's more off that direction somewhere. Come on, buddy. Do it. I got 6 cents off of that. Soup.
The bridge to Wolf's Vale is burning. With our only way out of the woods blocked, I won't be able to get rid of my brother for a while.
Okay. Come again. Hanging out here near the torch because it makes the wolves a little more scared. Out near the fire on the bridge. Actually, I can't really get to the fire on the bridge. This part is actually brighter.
Help! Help! Please help me! Help! Help! May Saint Anne have mercy on me! For the love of God, please help me!
Away. The rifle is unlocked. We have 11 shots. You can see down the left. I'm going to hold my left control key down. Close up my rifle. It's not loaded, as you can see there with the little things. Now I have... If I shoot now, I'll hit somewhere. If I shoot here, I'll hit the head. If I right-click the button on my mouse, I'll reload a little bit faster. Miller said thanks, roughly speaking, for the plot, and said watch out, there's a pack of wolves around here keeping him from getting back to the mill. So he's going to go off somewhere else to hole up for the night at the wood company. Let's make sure I've got my... Candle torch at the bottom of the farm. Cabin's over there, we can't get there down this ridge. Three wolves are going to be a bit of a problem. Left clicking causes me to swing. Which you can see I use up a little stamina at the bottom there when I do that. If I build up my rage, the axe will start to glow. I'm hanging out near the torch here as close as possible. Take it wise. Let's see if I can get off a shot. See the fear factor down there. It says 20 over 22. Now 21 over 22 on the bottom. What that does is track how willing the bravest creature around is to attack you. It gives you an idea when they're going to attack. Being near the fire helps with that. Nice. I wonder if that's supposed to be St. Simon of Cyrene. There should be a path here to get back to our field. I think that opens up later. Listening to that awesome music running in the background of the game. I've got it turned down. Listen to it. There's a little Irish reel going. The music in this game is really good. I just got it turned down so that I can talk over it. So that's a problem. Right, you can see the paw symbol. Paw symbol over the head is the next one to attack. It's the bravest one. You can tell down to the lower left there. 21, it gets to 22, here he comes. That other one, they're both about equal.
God, spawn of Satan!
Yeah, I did a yell there. I think they're going to attack at the same time, roughly. Got a minute. Let's see if I can get a shot off. Right in the head. Shooting off the... Not only did they take damage, and that made them a little warier about attacking me, but the firearm itself being loud also helps.
Jack!
Oops.
That's my brother. I turned my back for 2 seconds, and he's in hot water. I'd better get back to the cabin as quick as I can.
He's better at axing than I am. Alright, you can see this, the thing up there shows the location. It's taking damage. The people there are taking damage. If the home there, or the other support locations that will unlock through the game, if they take enough damage so that they can't be rebuilt, then the game is basically over. We can't survive out here. You can see down there that's the special items. I think it's E to 1. Alright, let's go. There's no way for me to sprint. Ah! I kinda got a little too handy with my... He's gonna be a while before he attacks, no matter how big he looks. I could probably take him out. Is that it? Survive the night. Alright, here we are in strategy mode. During the day, you will be allowed to figure out where the attacks are coming from for story reasons, which I won't get into here, but there is a story and explanation for why. You're able to place traps in the forest to strategically plan your defense for the oncoming night. Now we're going to click on a wolf trap to select it. The tutorial basically requires this. And we're going to place our first wolf trap here, because we have to. And another wolf trap here. Every time we do this, by the way, you can see it costs 20 action points. We only have a certain amount of time to do anything with here. And it also costs a certain amount of money, 10 cents per trap. It does, however, instantly kill any wolves or grand wolves that get in the way. Once it's gone off, it's gone off. All other enemies, it inflicts 3 points of damage. The only creature immune to it is the will-o'-the-wisp, which we haven't seen yet, because it floats along. As noted, it's best used in a narrow path. And that's all we can place. These are hanging nets. Hanging nets cost 30 action points to set up, but they do not cost any money. They do not instantly kill anything, but they do inflict 28 points of damage divided among all affected enemies. The wolf trap will spring on the first ground enemy that walks over them, instantly killing wolves and large wolves. This has to be set off, but it will attack everything in a range, in a radius. But you have to set it somewhere. You can't set it out in the middle here. You have to set it out somewhere where it's close enough to get a 3-point lock. As you can see really carefully there, if you look really close, you can see that there's 3 corners to the wolf trap, or 4 corners to the wolf trap, to add to the hanging net. So this is as much of the map as has been opened up yet, but as you can see, there are some other areas that will open up eventually. I'm using the mouse wheel to zoom in. There will be 4 wolves coming out of this area. They're vulnerable to wolf traps, hanging nets, and a spike trap. They're going to come out here. These come in wave 2. These also come in wave 2, and they're going to come out here onto the path and then work their way to the shortest route to the house. There is a 3rd wave. That's up here. This is a werewolf. It's very resistant to all personal weapons, traps, except for things that are blessed. You can drop hanging nets on it, spike traps, and wayward crosses. They will be hurt by these things, but not so much. They're pretty resistant to damage. So, when the werewolf shows up, the werewolf is going to start way up here. It can't get into our fields from this side. It has to go, it could go over the ridge, really, but for game purposes, it's going to take this route. The shortest route in. I don't know why I bothered to put a hanging trap here. Maybe to get people to come after me. Number 2. I can press tab to view the map. The game is paused while I do this. It's a little snowier and nastier out here. The red circle is the smell radius, by the way, I think. So, actually I'm going to lure the wolves here under my net. Looks like they're not going to move until I do anything. The dashed red line, dashed red circle up there is how loud my shout will be. Anything beyond that, they can't hear my shout. I could also shoot a weapon, it might be the same thing, but then I'd have to reload it. The green area around my position on the map, the faint green area, that's this place where they can hear me. You'll notice it gets a little bit bigger when I'm running around, though I'm still running through snow. And then as I stop, it slowly goes back. So the concept here is I'm going to stand. I don't have any bait to use yet, so I'm going to stand here under my trap. I've already got a nice load up on my gun. I'm going to yell.
Ah! I'll see you burn in hell!
At that place on the ground, I'll move till I'm beyond hearing and till I get under the trap. There should be two of them. 1, 2. I saw the green thing expand out. Yeah, don't forget to reload my rifle. I don't think the wave's going to trigger until I finish this. Now the good news is the rocks fall for 28 points of damage, and if you can get all of them, better go ahead and...
Ah! Come on! Come and get me, you mangy mob!
Okay, I'm going to get out of the way where he will not be able to hear or see me. Yeah. All 28 damage will fall on him. If there's multiple things... That didn't entirely kill him. Oh, that hurt. Got him. Yeah, it was resistant to damage, but... Phew. Okay, loggers from the W. Hood Company have opened a new path. There are new paths every day. Make sure you take this into consideration when you're placing your traps. Also considering that this changes the pathing. Like that werewolf, for example, wouldn't have taken the long way around. That werewolf would have taken this way to get to the cabin. Alright, let's see what we've got here. We'll have to deal with a werewolf coming in. We've got 2 waves, I take that back. Second wave is here. Okay. Alright, the second wave is entirely wolves, but these 2 are grand wolves. They're bigger. They move twice as fast. Okay. Now, there is a distinction here. You'll notice that this one is going for the house. There's a house icon, so it's heading for the house. The wolf is going there to get Josephine, if it can. These wolves, however, are going for the chicken coop. If they destroy the chicken coop, we can't stay out here, but we can't go back to the town either. The town won't let us in. So, well, they won't let Josephine in. For plot reasons, which we won't get into. So at that point we're going to be stuck out in the wilderness, unable to feed ourselves, and that'll be the end. We'll be too weak to fight. So we need to protect the hen house. These will be coming in. I can click on this, and left clicking on that shows the path they are going to take, unless I do something to reroute them. Clicking on here, Shows the path it's going to take, which is immediate. So when I hop out here at the start of the night, that werewolf is going to come immediately coming in here. Need to do something about that. Fortunately, the wolves won't be too hard to beat. The werewolf is going to be much harder to beat. Wave number 2. We're going to have 5 regular wolves going for the house, and the 2 grand wolves over here, which will be much faster and tougher and closer, will be going straight to the house. So, theoretically, what's going to happen is during wave 1, I need to be concentrating on fighting the werewolf, but I don't need to let the wolves get into the chicken coop either. Smart money is to take a wolf trap. The nice thing about wolf traps is everything that costs money, you can look, by the way, down here and see how much it's going to cost. It's not just up in the description. Everything that costs money will stay there. If it doesn't get triggered, it stays. The hanging net doesn't cost money. It just costs time. Consequently, it's gone the next day. Same thing is true with the bonfire. It takes time to set up, but it falls down over the next day. So you have to reposition it back up again. I can tell you the bonfire isn't going to affect the werewolf. It's a magical creature, as you can tell by the hideous pentagram up there on the upper right. It ignores fear factor from bonfires. So, smart money is smart money is not to use money at all if I can help it. I feel pretty confident about being able to beat these 2, and if I can trigger it right, they'll come after me instead of after the chicken coop. You can see where I've got the rocks set up. We've got a nice bonfire effect going here. With my back to the house. Bonfires wear out after a while, so it's not a bad idea to have another bonfire ready to go. In fact, I might as well scatter bonfires all over here. I'm saving up my money. I don't think I'm going to need the wolf trap. We'll put a hanging note here. If one of the, if for some reason these wolves don't come after me when I lure the werewolf in over here and see us and hear us fighting, and they get over here after the fist, then I can run up here, yell for them, come back over here and try to shoot that down. This should give me enough time to defeat any large wolf packs that are coming in during wave 2. Okay. Let's get to it. Here's my character menu. Bring an item with you. Drag and drop an item from your inventory to an inventory space. Well, I am definitely going to bring increased your level, giving you skill points. I will deal with that in a minute. I've got some U to V here. Increases my hit points by 100%, so if I take damage, there's my life points or hit points. This will bring me back to life. I'll go to my skills. Okay, at level 1 I can buy, or level 2 rather, opens up access to getting these. If I put on trapping 1, then when I make wolf traps, then it may not hurt the enemy that much, but it will hold them for 10 seconds. That can be handy. After you kill an enemy in melee combat, you heal for 2% of your maximum hit points. Instant healing. Marksmanship increases rifle reloading speed by 20% while clicking the right mouse button. It also increases the accuracy of automatic aiming by 33%. Okay. Flying Bracing Bit permits the accumulation of up to 2 rage points and the execution of an enraged attack causing additional damage. As I'm sitting there chopping normally on people, I can earn up to 2 rage strikes at a time instead of just 1. I have 1 point. I have 1 point of something here. I'm going to take Bloodthirst. I may need the extra. Probably going to be doing a lot of axe fighting in the next level here. December 7th, a night that will live in infamy. Okay, blustery, cold night tonight. Fortunately, coldness is not really a thing in this game. Here, I'm already loaded up. Wait for the werewolf to get under the thing and shoot it. It's because doing a shout takes forever to recharge. Get ready. Down. Sit down. Interesting.
God, spawn of Satan!
So we're both gonna come after me, right? I should come over here. Two. Chance. Numbers on the bottom there. So they will swarm me over if I'm not out. Next. You don't have enough people around anymore, do you? Boom. There goes the dynamite. Right through the night, I hadn't used my U to V, but I didn't spend any money. Part of that is because I was, I played that mission several times and picked up a few little extra experience points. I think it allows you to accumulate experience every time you replay a mission. With that being the most difficult fight so far, I think I'll end the episode for the night. Assuming I ever do a second episode of this, you can be reasonably sure that I will chop wolves in the face. Doom, doom, doom.